Welcome to the first ever episode of The Grumpy Guy. I am he. Okay, so let's get started. There is a lot of stuff going on about Colin Kaepernick and all these other NFL players just feel like they decide they want to take a knee during the national anthem to protest. Apparently they're not being treated right. First of all, I don't make millions of dollars when I go to work, and unfortunately I have to go to work every day. I can't just show up on a Sunday and get paid $900,000 just for being there for 3 hours. But that's neither here nor there. Y'all aren't impressed. You're making way more than any of us are. So let's get into it. First Amendment says that, according to them being the players who are kneeling down during these, during the national anthem, Colin Kaepernick and all his little buddies, say that they are going to kneel down because on a protest for the national anthem because they are oppressed. Or whatever their fucking excuse is. They're not oppressed. Okay, so someone said something about, it's the First Amendment right to be able to do that. Well, apparently, no one ever read the Constitution. Because none of them know what it means. So let's go over it. For all you people that haven't read the Constitution, I suggest you do it. Especially the first 10 amendments, which is called the Bill of Rights, and those are all of your rights. So let's go over it. The First Amendment says, and I quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. End quote. We'll get into the peaceably assemble in a later episode. I guarantee it. But on this one, we're just going to talk about it's saying that the government cannot interfere with a citizen's right to say what they want to. Here's where the dilemma comes in, y'all. Colin Kaepernick last year was a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Last time I looked, San Francisco 49ers was not a government. They're a privately held company. So, can a company tell an employee what they can and can't say or can or cannot do while you're at work? Well, first, can they tell you what you can and can't say when you're not at work? No, they can't. How? Unless you're under contract, and somewhere in the contract that you signed say that you can be let go because, you shot your mouth off when you weren't supposed to. Or you said something disparaging about the company or the league or the owners or other players, things like that. So, Colin Kaepernick and all of his little buddies want to kneel during the national anthem. Do they have the right to do so? No, they don't. Because they're really at work. Now, granted, we're all sitting around drinking beer trying to watch a good football game, right? That's a good American Sunday thing to do during the winter, fall and winter. So, does this player have the right to kneel during the national anthem? Not under the First Amendment, he don't. Because he's at work. And it's not the government telling him, don't do it. Could be one of the owners. Could be one of your bosses. Think of it like this. If you guys went to work tomorrow and you said, you know what? Looked at your boss, looked him dead in the eye and said, you know what? You're a fucking asshole. Chances are the next two words you're going to hear is, you're fired. That doesn't fall under freedom of speech. So, to make sure that we give everyone all the information that they need, I actually pulled it up. Now, when I make more videos and I'm able to figure out how to add little things up here on the little screen so you guys can see it, I'll figure out how to do that later. But I'll tell you that there is a website, and it's for people who work in human resources. It's called the HRExaminer.com, and you can go on there and look up, is there free speech at work? No. There is no constitutional free speech at work. Employees do not have the constitutional right to free speech or freedom of expression at work. The Constitution's right to free speech only applies when the government is trying to restrict it. Even then, it's not absolute. There's no free speech in your house. Ask your mother, she'll tell you. And there's no legal right to free speech or expression at work. Unless if you work for the government, there are a special set of rules for government employees. I know, I've seen the contracts that say that. Now, there is something called the National Labor Relations Act. And basically what that says is that the, employees' protected speech under the National Labor Relations Act is actually an exception to the employer's broad right to restrict both speech and expression at work. Section 7 of the NLRA gives employees the right to discuss wages, hours, working conditions, and organize a union. That's it. It doesn't protect you from calling your boss an asshole or telling him to go to hell. It doesn't protect you from saying whatever the hell you want to while you're at work. Think of it like this. You're walking into Walmart. There's a funny thing. Jeff Dunham, the comedian, his guy Walter, said he wanted to be a Walmart greeter. Walk into Walmart, get your shit, and get out. Chances are, if someone actually tried to do that, they'd be fired on the spot. Why? Isn't it protected under the First Amendment? No, it's not, you idiot. You're at work. I like football. Love it. But when you start putting your personal beliefs and putting politics into my football, it pisses me off. I'm not watching football. I'm not going to watch the NFL when the owners of all these teams in the league is allowing this shit to go on. Why? Because I is one. There are a lot of people who fought and died for this country, who gave you the right of freedom of speech against oppression from the government, who gave you the right to play football for a living and make millions and millions and millions of dollars a year to do so. But you're right. So tell me, Mr. NFL football player who makes millions of dollars a year, how the hell are you fucking oppressed? Who's holding you back? You, personally. Mr. I'm a football player for the NFL. I made $600,000 by showing up to work today. How are you oppressed? You're not. There's nothing you can say that would make me believe that you're oppressed. And if you still think you're oppressed, I'll gladly trade my paycheck for your paycheck. I'll gladly trade my paycheck for the whole year for two of yours. 2 weekly paychecks. If you're not feeling that impressed, let's trade money. Now, some people are saying that Colin Kaepernick, some of these other players, they're kneeling, they're heroes, they're speaking their mind, they're being good civic citizens. Let me tell you the name of a civic citizen. His name was Pat Tillman. Pat played in the NFL for the Arizona Cardinals. And in 2002, he turned down a $3.6 million contract to renew with the Cardinals. They'd been playing with, I think, for 4 years. To join the United States Army with his brother and become an Army Ranger. I remember vaguely, because it's been a few years. This was back in 2002. That was 15 years ago. But he said something about just feeling the obligation to pick up a rifle, stand a post, to serve his country, to help defend our rights as American citizens. Two years later, he lost his life in Afghanistan. Who's the bigger hero? Colin Kaepernick, who kneels during the national anthem? Or Pat Tillman, who said, you know what? I'll go defend our Constitution. I'll go defend our country. Y'all, this isn't rocket science. Now, there's going to be future videos on the state of our country and the state of us. Later, I guarantee it. I'm starting to make a list of all my little bitches. Every day I'm going to upload a video. It's your right as an American citizen to do what you want, say what you want, but only in certain places. If the NFL owners and if the NFL, the NFL itself, the league, wanted to stop this crap, they can. Now, last Friday, President Trump was in Alabama and made a comment about the NFL owners and league saying, you do that shit, you're fired. NFL, of course, was pushing back. Oh no, we can't do that. Oh yes, you can. Because if I was a business owner and one of my employees while at work did something that cost my company money, I have a right to fire them. Just like saying, welcome to Walmart, get your shit and get out. Can't do that. They have the right to fire your ass. And I truly hope they do. Y'all, this isn't rocket science. Anyway, that's my bitch of the day. So, there'll be a lot more videos to come. This was my very first one, so take it with a grain of salt. Please hit the subscribe and the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an episode. And make sure that you click the like button, leave me comments down below. I'll be sure to try to answer anyone's questions or comments. Thank you very much. Till next time, this is the Grumpy Guy.